Hello and welcome to the viewers of this video. This is the Orange Fan here, bringing you another entry for the episode Recap and Thoughts category. This video will be dedicated to the A segment of episode 52 of Codename Kids Next Door, Operation Dodgeball. We begin this segment with a cloaked figure heading towards a temple. The two kids guarding the entrance to this temple attack the cloaked figure using dodgeballs, but the cloaked figure has some sort of power set and uses these powers to redirect the dodgeballs towards the kids and renders them unconscious. The cloaked figure then enters the courtyard of this temple, and there are more kids with dodgeballs in this courtyard. The kids try to attack the cloaked figure using their dodgeballs, but the cloaked figure is able to redirect the dodgeballs towards the kids, and they are rendered unconscious too. Eventually, the cloaked figure reaches a chamber within the temple, and there's a boy sitting in this chamber. The boy recognizes the cloaked figure and calls the cloaked figure the Dodgeball Wizard. He also reveals that this temple is called PS 182, if I'm not mistaken. The Dodgeball Wizard then removes the hood over his face, so we actually get to see the Dodgeball Wizard's face now. His face has a beard, and he's also wearing a hat. His face resembles a traditional wizard's appearance. The Dodgeball Wizard also reveals that he's here to fulfill his 64-year-long mission, his mission to prove that adults are superior at playing dodgeball over kids. So the Dodgeball Wizard uses his powers to attack the boy using a dodgeball. The boy, however, uses his own powers to hold off the dodgeball. He puts up much more of a fight compared to the other kids, and the Dodgeball Wizard is impressed, but uses more of his power to start to overpower the boy. The boy comments, though, that even if the Dodgeball Wizard defeats him, there is another dodgeball player who is a kid that's even greater. Or yes, there's a kid who's an even greater dodgeball player, and the Dodgeball Wizard demands to know who this kid is. The boy manages to say that this prodigy dodgeball player is the boy called Beatles, and then he is defeated by the Dodgeball Wizard. The Dodgeball Wizard decides that he will search for the boy called Beatles and force him into accepting his challenge so that he can defeat him and prove that adults are the superior dodgeball players over kids. So the Dodgeball Wizard leaves PS 182 and searches for the boy called Beatles. The next scene takes us to just outside of Number 4's house, and we see Number 4 is about to enter his house. He's accompanied with Number 2, or yes, Number 2 is accompanying Number 4 back to Number 4's house. Number 4 is telling Number 2 about how he, Number 4, defeated a group of kids at Dodgeball recently, and he's proud of his accomplishment, but Number 2 isn't very impressed. Number 2 reveals that Number 4 had defeated a group of kindergartners because the first graders told Number 4 to pick on someone his own size. But Number 4 brushes off Number 2's comments, and once Number 4 and Number 2 enter the living room of the Beatles' home, they find a lot of dodgeballs scattered all about the room like there was an attack, and Number 4 doesn't know where his parents or his baby brother Joey are. Number 2 finds a dodgeball with a message on it from the Dodgeball Wizard, and according to this message, the Dodgeball Wizard has captured the other 3 Beatles family members, and the Dodgeball Wizard wishes to challenge Number 4 at the top of Dodgeball Tower. So Number 4 agrees to this challenge. Next up, we head to Dodgeball Tower, and we see the 3 other Beatles family members are tied up to a pole, and the Dodgeball Wizard is pacing back and forth, waiting for Number 4 to arrive. The Beatles' parents, though, they think that this is a magic show. They don't realize that they've been captured or that they're in any danger. They just think that this is a magic show and that the Dodgeball Wizard is a magician. And the Dodgeball Wizard is annoyed by this. He starts to go on a rant about his motives, but even after he gives his motive rant, Mr. Beatles' response is thinking that the Dodgeball Wizard is an illusionist, or prefers to be called an illusionist. Eventually, number 4 and number 2 do arrive at the top of Dodgeball Tower, and the Dodgeball Wizard admits that he thought that number 4, the Dodgeball Wizard, when he sees number 4, he admits that he thought that the prodigy dodgeball player he heard of would be smarter looking, in his words. Number 4's response is to go on a monologue about how the Beatles family are great dodgeball players. Number 4 goes into a monologue about how dodgeball playing runs through his veins, or something along those lines. But during number 4's monologue, the Dodgeball Wizard hits number 4 with a dodgeball and renders him unconscious. The Dodgeball Wizard is baffled at how easy it was to defeat number 4, but he decides he's not going to complain. He fulfilled his mission. But then a dodgeball is tossed towards the Dodgeball Wizard, and he sees that Joey Beatles had escaped the ropes that were tied up around him and his parents. The Beatles' parents are still tied up, but Joey isn't. And we find out that the boy called Beatles, who is supposed to be the prodigy dodgeball player, is actually Joey, not number 4. The Dodgeball Wizard is surprised by this, but he quickly agrees to the challenge to prove his superiority, or the superiority of adults over kids at dodgeball in general. But yes, a dodgeball match begins between Joey and the Dodgeball Wizard. The Beatles' parents think that this is just part of the magic show, and number 2 is amazed by this fight. He tries to wake number 4 up too, but number 4 is still unconscious during the fight. And the fight doesn't just stay on Dodgeball Tower. The fight goes all throughout the city, and some of the civilians find Joey adorable when they see him. But yes, Joey proves to be an impressive dodgeball player and gives the Dodgeball Wizard a run for his money. And the Dodgeball Wizard eventually loses his composure and decides to summon a giant dodgeball to attack Joey. After the giant dodgeball lands, the Dodgeball Wizard doesn't see Joey anywhere. He just sees Joey's diaper. And so the Dodgeball Wizard figures that he won. And so he starts to dance and cheer himself on. But then the Dodgeball Wizard sees Joey is still in the game. Joey lost his diaper, but he's fine otherwise. And the Dodgeball Wizard is baffled by this. How could Joey have evaded the giant dodgeball? But then Joey throws a dodgeball towards the Dodgeball Wizard and hits the Dodgeball Wizard in the nose. Number 4 begins to regain consciousness, and when he does, he sees the Dodgeball Wizard complaining about how he got hit in the nose by a dodgeball, and he runs off. Number 4 thinks that he defeated the Dodgeball Wizard, and he keeps interrupting number 2 when number 2 tries to tell him that Joey was the one who defeated the Dodgeball Wizard. Number 4 kept interrupting number 2 because he thought number 2 was just going to go on a tangent about how great number 4 is. And when number 4 sees Joey near a dodgeball, he thinks that Joey wants some tips from his older brother about how to play dodgeball. But Joey ends up hitting number 4 with a dodgeball instead, and that's how we end this segment. So there you go. This was the A segment for the Season 4 finale. I have mentioned before that Season 3 and Season 4 are the only seasons in Codename Kids Next Door where their season finales are not full episodes. They're episodes that are divided into an A segment and a B segment. Season 3 and Season 4's heavy hitter episodes are not their season finales like Seasons 1, 2, 5, and 6. So for this segment, the A segment of the Season 4 finale, we get a twist. Yes, we get a twist. Initially, we're led to believe that this will be a number 4 spotlight appearance, But it turns out that this segment is actually a spotlight appearance for Joey Beatles, number four's younger brother. And yes, this is the segment where Joey's name is actually said out loud. Now, with the situation regarding, or yes, and yes, the idea of number four being a great dodgeball player has been established earlier in the series. In the season 3 episode, Operation Fountain, number four comments about how he's really good at playing dodgeball and he's really good in gym class. Or yes, gym class is one of his better classes, if not his best class in school. So yes, number four has been established as being a great dodgeball player beforehand. So this segment continued with that. Now with the twist regarding Joey, I should mention in one of his blog posts, Tom Warburton did comment that number four really was meant to be the prodigy dodgeball player called Beatles and was the one who was initially intended to defeat the Dodgeball Wizard. But Mo Willems had suggested that Joey Beatles be the prodigy dodgeball player of the Beatles family, and Tom Warburton really liked the idea, and so they decided to have Joey be the one to play to compete against and defeat the Dodgeball Wizard. And yes, I've seen some different opinions about this from some fans. Some fans liked the twist. They thought it was a nice way to give Joey Beatles a chance in the spotlight, because otherwise Joey is a baby. So giving him a chance to have his time in the, or have his chance to shine. Yes. So some people like the chance, or like the idea of Joey having his chance to shine and proving himself to be very skilled, despite the fact that he's just a baby. On the other hand, I've seen some fans didn't really like that number four didn't get to fight against the Dodgeball Wizard and was taken out rather easily. Some fans thought they thought that having Joey have his chance to shine came at the expense of number four. So, like I said, I've seen some mixed responses to that. Some fans liked Joey being the prodigy dodgeball player. Others would have preferred if number four was the prodigy dodgeball player like it was intended originally. So there are definitely mixed feelings about that. Your mileage may vary. Now, in another blog post, Tom Warburton had also admitted that the Dodgeball Wizard, or he was hoping that the Dodgeball Wizard would be voiced by Pete Townshend or Townshend. I'm not sure how you say that. I haven't actually heard his name said out loud, but I understand that he's a musician. So, yes, Tom Warburton had originally hoped that this musician would voice the Dodgeball Wizard, but according to his blog post, that didn't end up going through, or that didn't end up happening. But yeah, it is pretty interesting how things might have turned out differently if the Dodgeball Wizard had a different voice artist, and if their original plan, I think they were going to have a song according to this blog post because of the musician, but yes, that ended up not happening. And like others, I can't help but wonder how things might have turned out if they were able to go through with this plan for the Dodgeball Wizard. But yes, besides that, another detail is, yes, we do get to see the faces of, Mrs. Beatles' face is shown in this segment, and we do get to see Mr. Beatles' face again, like we did back in Operation Matador. However, the way it was, they had an interesting way of doing it. Whenever there was a distance shot of the Beatles' parents, we did get to see their faces. But when they had close-up shots of the Beatles' parents' faces, their entire faces weren't shown on screen. Like, we got to see their nose and their mouth and a little bit of their eyes, but never their full face was shown in the close-up shots. But from distance shots, we did get to see the whole faces of the Beatles' parents. And there will be some later entries where Mr. Beatles and Mrs. Beatles' faces are shown fully and not just at a distance, but even more close up. So So yes, we will get a better look at their faces. Well, we did get to see a better look of Mr. Beatles' face before, and Mrs. Beatles. Yes, we will get a closer look at Mrs. Beatles' whole face in a later entry. There's one I'm thinking of that happens in season 6, but we'll cross that bridge when we eventually get to it. Otherwise, I did enjoy the dodgeball fight itself between Joey Beatles and the Dodgeball Wizard. It pretty much felt like yes, to me, the fight came off as Dragon Ball Z meets Dodgeball. So, yes, it felt like a Dodgeball style Dragon Ball Z fight. Even the Dodgeball Wizard's giant dodgeball reminded me of Frieza's Death Ball attack. And the funny thing is, there's another show that has a Dragon Ball Z style dodgeball fight. The Boondocks, yes, they have a dodgeball match that could also be described along the lines of being Dragon Ball Z style dodgeball fighting. So, yeah, I did enjoy the fight scene. I thought it was pretty cool. And it was nice to see Joey get a chance in the spotlight. And there will be a later entry where Joey gets to be an important character too. It will be a full episode in season 6. So we'll cross that bridge when we eventually get to it. And otherwise, yeah, that might be about it actually. So, like I said, I did like the dodgeball fight. It was pretty cool to see Joey get a chance to shine, although I do understand where some fans are coming from when they feel like number 4 where they feel like number 4 didn't get to do too much in this segment. And it was pretty funny to see the Beatles' parents be oblivious to the Dodgeball Wizard's true motives for, or they thought that it was amusing how the Beatles' parents thought that the Dodgeball Wizard was just a magician and this was a magic show, even after the Dodgeball Wizard went on a rant about his actual motives. I thought that was pretty amusing. Otherwise, yeah, I'd say that's about it. So, as of this video, we've now discussed the A segment of episode 52 of Codename Kids Next Door on this channel. Take care, and until next time.